Good morning. You ever wake up in the morning and you take your first sip of coffee and you're like, I don't know how this is true, but this is the best sip of coffee I've had in my whole life. Maybe not my whole life, but it was great. I took a sip just before I hit go live and I was very happy about it. Good morning. How are we doing today? Hello, Claude. Hello, Elizabeth. Good morning. Good morning. Glad to have you both here. Anybody want to share their plans for what they'll work on this morning? Hello, Brooke. Wonderful to have you. I love your unicorn. That's beautiful. Glad to have you. I'm sorry, my throat. It's morning. I will be doing a few things. I'm going to write morning pages and then if anyone here follows along with fellow author tuber, excuse me, HK Darkwood, during the last, month or two, she started dictating words into her book. I was like, that's pretty cool. And I sort of played around with it whenever she first started talking about it, maybe a month or two ago. And so finally on Sunday, I thought, I wonder if this could actually work. And so I went to a local park and I sat in my car and it was super hot out. It was like 100 degrees. Oh, on Sunday, was it better? No, right. That's right. It was 100 degrees on like Saturday, or like close to 40 degrees Celsius here in Oklahoma. On Sunday, it was better. That's right. So I went to a park and I sat just in my car with the breeze flowing in, and I tried dictating into Google Docs, and actually worked pretty well. I mean, it's not a perfect system. It's a little bit clunky, but it worked pretty well. And for a goal that I am thinking about working on with writing, I think that it could be really helpful. So I'm going to try that today, I guess. Yeah. Excuse me. I'll let you know how that goes. It's interesting to give something like that a shot. Kind of give my fingers and wrists and elbows a break since I'm typing all the time during the day. Well, see how that goes. Elizabeth says, I need to work on 2 drafts and some social media. We'll see how far I get. I bet you'll do great, knowing you as we do. I'll continue to draft chapter 6, which is the last chapter of the first quarter of your book. Wow, that's fantastic, Claude. How did your first week back from vacation go, Claude? I hope that it went very well. For some reason, dictation doesn't work well for me. Southern accent is garbled for my device. That's definitely your device's problem. I have heard that, I will say this sometimes when I'm using when I'm using dictation to do like talk to text, it's terrible. I mean, like it'll do okay. Sometimes I get a little too animated with my voice, and so I don't know if that affects it. But in Google Docs, it seemed to work better, and so I thought, wow, could it really be different between the 2 programs? I don't know. I have heard HK is from Iceland. And so what she said is that I think it would take a lot of time. Like her device kind of got like used to her voice, but I mean, it just depends. If you don't want to like have to take the time to do all of that, I totally understand. That's interesting though, Elizabeth. I wouldn't have thought about that. They should make that work better for people with different accents. Okay, Claude, it's slow at work and motivation is not at the top, but it goes well. Okay. Writing is tougher. Yeah. I think that, vacations, taking a good solid vacation is so worth it, but there is a real period of transition back into normal life. So I totally understand that. Need to try that. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Well, if dictation is something that could work, also like depending on what you would want to invest, I was shown an app, excuse me. Gosh, I can't remember. It's been at least a year and a half, if not 2 years, since I last heard about this. But a dictation app that has a lot of different languages in it. So maybe that would be a little more advanced than just like me trying to talk into my phone. See if I can find out what that program was. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this app, this app or this software, it had like a bunch of different languages that you could use it for. We've got some research projects to do. That would be interesting to find out. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Excuse me. I'll try to get my throat to normalize. Oh, dragon? I don't remember. Possibly. Elizabeth, possibly. But I don't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, maybe that would be a viable option, whether it's the one I heard of or not. All right, let's hop into our first sprint of the day. And I will talk to you all in 25 minutes. Let's write. Hello, welcome back from the sprint. I had some jams playing, like some summer chill vibes jams, and I almost missed the end of the sprint myself because I was in the flow. So how did your sprint go? I worked on morning pages, and there's little things that I want to some stuff I printed off that I want to cut and add into my journal. So yeah, worked on that during, oh, there they are right there. What a nice visual. Yeah, it was a good morning pages session. Very encouraging. Oh, hello, Allie. I've already gotten to see videos of Cal this morning, which is a real honor and a treat. Greetings, greetings. Ooh, I did 776 on that one, so I'll move to the other draft for the next. Fantastic, Elizabeth. You're just on fire. Wrote about 2 pages. That's a lot of pages. 2 whole pages during the 25 minutes. That's great. There'll be lots of edits to do, but at least words on paper now. I couldn't agree more, Claude. That's fantastic. Wow. Very productive sprint all around. And we have more greetings. So I will just take a few minutes to finish up this morning pages section, and then I'm going to try doing that dictation, and it'll be a grand experiment, and I'll let you know how that goes at the end of this. Let's see, we can shake out our wrists, stretch a little bit. One time when I was in high school, I took a French class trip to France. And on the airplane, they actually, I've never seen this since, not that I fly that often, but on the airplane and the preparing for flight, video, they were talking about how the pressure can affect joints. This was in the late 90s. And a woman, on the video, took everybody through these hand exercises on a plane. And it was really stuck with me ever since then. So we could do those. We can do wrist rolls. Should we do those? Maybe we should incorporate those into our breaks. I've been thinking about that. Shake out our wrists. And then I remember her doing this and making a fist and then really stretching out like that. Going like this to really stretch out. And then can't really see it. That kind of thing. Can you tell what I'm doing? This doesn't look awkward at all, does it? You can really feel that, or I can really feel that relief go through those, that nerve right there when I do that. And every morning when I do stretches, I do one where I just go like this, and I put my arm down like that, and then I do my neck like this, and I can feel the life moving through the nerve. So there you go. The life moving through the nerve. That is what I just said. Allie can attest to the fact that that's how I talk all the time. Okay, wrist exercise is a great idea. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Group stretching. Fantastic. I love it. Will you do dictation on your memoir? This is what I'm thinking of doing, Claude. I guess we'll be telling the story to someone since you lived, I think should go well. Okay, so I appreciate you saying that. I thought that's what I'm kind of experimenting with. These are stories that I tell all the time. And I'm maybe I will capture my voice better if I'm just saying them out loud. Going to give it a shot, but kind of like what you were saying, there will be a lot of editing that has to happen afterward, but at least the story will be down on paper. Excuse me. So that's what I'm thinking. It's an exciting new journey that we're going on together. All of us writers. I don't know if I'm in a weird mood. This is a typical mood. This is a well-rested mood for me. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on our next 25-minute sprint. Second one out of 3. I'll talk to you all in 25 minutes. Hello, welcome back. I have my little jams going. I want to keep hearing it. I just don't. Okay, there we go. Nice and quiet. Very kind of you both, Elizabeth and Claude, to ask about that. Indeed, what is my Twitch link? This should do it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Do either of you, Claude or Elizabeth, do you watch Twitch very often? Do either of you stream on Twitch? I think that we would know if you all were streaming. But, oh, that's funny. I shared the Twitch link to Twitch as well. I'm still getting used to broadcasting to both at the same time. Okay, do I have a word count? Well, so this is cool. One chapter where I was sharing about, I was writing about kind of like the beginnings of our organization. For some reason, it took me a long time to like wrap my head around having to like put that into terms. I'm sure you all have heard me talk about that, but I just sort of finished that chapter. I mean, I don't know. I will probably end up building on that. But hey, it's a first draft and I have never written about that before. I got to a stopping point. I was actually typing that and I realized, oh, actually, I think that this for now is a good stopping point. So that's cool. So I moved on to the next one. I decided to start a chapter where I'm just sharing some kind of like funny stories about mishaps that I find amusing. Whenever I tell the stories to other people, they tend to find them amusing. It's things like when all the lights went out at an event that I had planned because the lights in the room at our state capitol were on a timer in a room that was locked because it was after hours, even though they knew that we were going to be there. So that was some interesting last minute problem solving. Or when we were giving a tour of our place and it was raining, like these torrential rains. So, excuse me, water was leaking through a lamp, a light in the ceiling during the tour. Sorry, one second. One time we were doing a photo shoot and police helicopters were circling us in downtown Oklahoma City. And we were like, well, I hope that crime doesn't come to where we are. I hope that it's all okay. So I just thought it would be fun to move on to some of those stories that are fun to tell. Okay. Oh, we got comments. Let's look at them. Tomorrow I'll get the second vaccine. And my mother the week after. Everyone in my entourage will be fully vaccinated after that. That's awesome, Claude. Yes. My second vaccine went just fine. I was tired for 36 hours. And I know people who had worse symptoms than that, and not a single one of them have regretted the decision to get the vaccine. So that's great. I'm glad for you, Claude. 309 words in an email after. Okay, for that one. I think I'm done writing for now. For the day, okay. Starting to feel it a little. Good. Yep. Take a break. May switch over to walking the dog during the next stream. That's a great idea, Elizabeth. I like that you know when you've hit your limit, and then that's when it's time to stop. I do watch streams. Okay, on Twitch, very different from YouTube. So, Elizabeth, it is somewhat recently that I'm realizing a lot of people are doing live streams. I had heard of writers doing writing streams on Twitch, but hadn't really paid much attention. And then just in the last couple of weeks, I've started paying attention more. That's interesting. That is very different from YouTube. I am streaming to both. So I'm like, well, should I be more different for Twitch? I don't know. I would be interested to know if you care to share, like what differences you have noticed. And if you don't care to share, that's just fine too. Sometimes I go to Twitch, but not often. I'm more in the habit of watching author tubers on YouTube. But yeah, I would like to. There's just a couple of people. Maybe we talked about this, Claude. I follow probably because you're a D&D guy. I follow Felicia Day. She's the person that I watch the most on Twitch. And then a couple of podcasters who I like. But yeah, still building that habit. Congrats on the vaccine for you and yours. I agree. Thank you. Last minute problem solving indeed. The stories where you're like, oh no, I don't know what to do. And you're like freaking out and trying to hold it together. Usually like in the moment, they're not fun, but then they make for the best stories later on. Have to go to work now. Have a great day. You have a great day too. Claude, have a good work day. Hope that you feel productive and still refreshed from your vacation. Thank you so much for joining early this morning. We appreciate it. Always good to see you. I think Twitch is influenced by gaming. Oh, sure. Things you can buy. Oh, right. Yep. Things you can buy. Cheers. Don't totally understand what I'm doing. Elizabeth, I've been watching Twitch streamers for so 3 years this summer is when I joined Twitch to start watching. And I understand some of it and some of it I don't. I've learned the more I watch, the more I have just like figured that out. But yeah, it is interesting. Like the interaction is different and it's pretty cool. I haven't spent money on those kinds of things like bits and cheers and stuff like that. But it is really fun to watch how other people get involved and hype trains and that kind of thing. Yeah, it is pretty, it's fun. I would say that. Okay. Good observations. I cannot believe it, but it is already time for our last stream, or last sprint of the day. And I'm going to, and I never did get a word count. Let's look. I only started doing the dictation for the last few minutes. And it's definitely, so I wanted to mention this to you, Elizabeth, as well. We were talking earlier about the quality of the dictation, like picking up your voice. So a couple weeks ago, so AllyDeatherageArt had ordered a pair of these kind of wireless or Bluetooth earbuds. And she loved them. And I was like, well, how much are they? And she said, I think $60. And I was like, maybe I'll order some. But Amazon had sent her 2 pair. And she had contacted Amazon. I was like, hey, I only ordered one of these. And they never said she had to return them. And so she gave them to me. And I was very blessed by that. So I put them in and it picks up. There's a microphone on here as well. And I have found that I kind of experimented with it, speaking into my just talk to text type app on my phone through these picks up my voice so much better than the microphone on my phone. I don't know what the difference is, quality, clarity, but I have far fewer problems with it speaking through these. So that might be something to consider. It might not be your accent or anything like that. It might just be your phone. Something to think about. All right. That said, we can go ahead and get this last sprint going. I still didn't give a word count. I got it highlighted. Here we go. Word count. It was 204. That was definitely worth the wait. All right, you all. Here we go. I'll talk to you in 25. All right, welcome back from our sprint. Last one of the day. How did that go for you? So here's what I think about using the talk to text function. Because I did just revert to typing. So I think, this is still brand new for me to use the talk to text function. So where I think it would be useful, I think it would be useful if I'm not just sitting at my computer. So like, for example, when I felt like writing the other day, I was just in my car and I was just wanted to go to a park and be outside or something, but I also had the inspiration to write. Well, then I could do it. I could write on my phone using the talk to text and it worked just fine. I also think that it would be useful if I'm having trouble coming up with words when I'm typing. And it would be easier to just engage in regular storytelling. I think that is where that will be useful as well. Today, though, I got started telling the story through the talk to text dictation function. And it had sort of a funny transcription that made me laugh. It got something very, very wrong. And so I took a screenshot of it and shared it with a friend because I thought it was funny. But then I was going back in and typing and deleting and fixing it. And then before I knew it, I was just typing away. So yeah, I think it just kind of is going to be circumstantial for me. But the idea that I could work on my book, not just being in this office, sitting at a computer, is very appealing. So I'm glad that I've been experimenting with that. And that does it for today. Time for me to head to work. Thank you to everybody who participated this morning. Let's see. Oh, blue magic. Oh, whoops, kind of jumped. You agree about the transcription? Yeah, seems like that would work best. Elizabeth, it was raining, so I put the walk on hold. That'll do it. Got my exercise. Oh, got on your exercise bike for a few minutes. That's a good idea. Thanks for your thoughts on dictating. Is dialogue still the same? Must speak quote marks. Okay, so that is something, or can the device detect when dialogue is being used? It's not that advanced. It will understand some punctuation, but mostly just period and comma. I tried saying parentheses and it just typed the word parentheses. So it's not that advanced. So when I was using it in my car the other day and I was speaking and looking at my phone at the same time, I could just go and, add a different punctuation as I was going along. But yeah, it's not sophisticated enough to pick up on that. It's an imperfect system, I would say. But still has value, and I think it just would take some getting used to. A rainy day honestly sounds lovely, Elizabeth. I think it's a little bit cloudy here, which is nice because it's been so hot. I don't know if it's been like that over in North Carolina as well, but it has been pretty relentless. So I've enjoyed the cooler, cloudier days, but hopefully you can maybe get a walk in later today. Give your dog a little pat from me. Thank you to everybody who joined this morning. I know I got a lot done. I hope you all did as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.